Prologue. The day humanity died. The Xal'Thar Dominion was the oldest and most powerful empire in the galaxy. They had crushed 1,000 civilizations, bent countless species to their will, and erased those who defied them. And then they met humanity. At first, the Xal'Thar barely noticed them, just another primitive species, barely capable of interstellar travel. But then, humans did what no other race had ever done. They resisted. Against all logic, against impossible odds, they fought. They fought when surrender was the only rational choice. They fought even when their worlds burned. It took the Xal'Thar 3 centuries to finish the war. They glassed Earth, shattered Mars, and hunted the last remnants of humanity to the farthest reaches of space. When the final human fleet was destroyed, the Xal'Thar celebrated. Humanity was gone, erased, extinct, or so they believed. Chapter 1. Whispers in the Dark. 1,000,000 years passed. The Dominion was no longer the unstoppable force it had been. Empires do not last forever. Their colonies stagnated. Their fleets grew old. The Xal'Thar still ruled, but they were no longer expanding, only preserving. And then, something changed. A military station near the Galactic core suddenly vanished. No explosion. No distress signal. One moment it was there, the next gone. A Xal'Thar patrol ship received an unknown transmission. The signal was ancient, millions of years old. But when they decrypted it, they found a simple message. "We are still here." A fleet of warships dispatched to investigate never returned. Their last transmission was screaming. The Dominion's high command dismissed the incidents as pirates, malfunctions, anomalies. But then, something happened that they could not ignore. A single, abandoned human ship, one of the last from the ancient war, was found drifting near a Xal'Thar colony. A relic, a corpse from a forgotten era. Except, its engines were still warm. Chapter 2. The Evolution of Humanity. The Xal'Thar thought they had wiped humanity out. They had not. A handful of survivors had escaped, fleeing beyond the known galaxy, into the void. They had no home, no allies, and no future. But they had time. 1,000,000 years of time. Time to adapt.
Time to change.
Time to become something more. The humans who returned were not human as the Xal'Thar remembered them. They were post-biological, a fusion of mind and machine. They had learned to manipulate the fabric of space itself, to exist beyond time, to weave their consciousness into the very stars. They had become something else. Something ancient. Something unstoppable. Something ready for war. Chapter 3. The War of 1,000,000 Years. The Xal'Thar sent their fleets to respond. It was a mistake. The first battle was not a battle at all. A Xal'Thar dreadnought, the pride of their navy, was ripped apart mid-warp. Not by weapons, but by an unseen force that unmade its atoms. A second fleet, dispatched to avenge them, fired at shadows, and then their own ships turned against them. A Xal'Thar general awoke to find his entire homeworld gone. Not conquered, not destroyed, simply erased. The humans never sent diplomats, never asked for surrender. They spoke only once. A message, broadcast across the Xal'Thar homeworld. We remember. Chapter 4. The Fall of an Empire. Panic consumed the Dominion. This was impossible. Humans were supposed to be gone. And yet, they were here. One by one, the core worlds of the Xal'Thar fell. Some vanished without a trace. Some were rewritten, their histories altered, their people forgetting they had ever been Xal'Thar at all. Some were spared, left to witness the end of their own empire. The Dominion's leaders fled. Their armies collapsed. The younger races of the galaxy, once oppressed by the Xal'Thar, rose in rebellion. They had lived in fear of the Dominion for millions of years. Now they feared something else. Humanity had returned, and they were unstoppable. Epilogue. The Last Xal'Thar. In the ruins of the Dominion, the last Xal'Thar leader sent a desperate message to the unknown. We surrender. We were wrong. Have mercy. For the first time, the humans responded. A voice, ancient, vast, and cold, spoke across the void. 1,000,000 years ago, we begged for mercy. You gave us none. The Xal'Thar leader trembled. You tried to erase us. A pause. And yet we remain. A silence. The last Xal'Thar waited, breathless. Then the final message came. Run. And so, the last survivors of the Xal'Thar Dominion fled. They scattered into the farthest reaches of space, wandering the dark, forever looking over their shoulders. For they knew the truth now. Humanity was patient. Humanity was eternal. And, no matter how long it took, humanity would never forget.